You know that feeling when you stumble on something so dense, so intricate, that it almost feels like a blueprint for, well, for everything? We found something just like that. It's a single folder packed with digital files, and today we're going to try and decode it together. Let's see what's inside.
Right off the bat, it's just pure chaos. I mean, look at these file names. They seem completely disconnected from each other. Sociological plasma physics is sitting right next to magical nanoswarms. We've got hard science, we've got wild speculation, deep philosophy. It seriously feels like a dozen different projects all just got dumped into one folder. So what on earth could be the link?
And that right there, that's the central mystery we're tackling today. This isn't just a random list of files, it feels like a puzzle. So we're going to put on our detective hats, look at the clues hidden in these titles, and go on a kind of digital investigation to figure out the grand vision behind all of this.
Okay, so let's officially begin. Our investigation starts with the only evidence we've got, a directory of files from a folder that's simply named Sociology. That's it. No instructions, no README file, just the titles themselves. This is our puzzle box.
So how are we going to solve this thing? Well, we decided to treat it almost like an archaeological dig. We're going to sift through all this digital noise, we're going to look for clusters of ideas, and we're going to try to piece together the story this collection is trying to tell. The mission is simple: find the hidden logic in the chaos. And you know what? After just a little bit of sorting, the first clear pattern started to pop right out. A huge chunk of these files are all about one thing: exploring the human mind. Everything from our subconscious drives to the actual physical wiring of our brains. It seems like the whole project starts from the inside out.
And this is where our method really starts to pay off. As soon as you begin to categorize these things, the chaos just becomes coherent. File names that seemed totally random, like depth psychology, brainscapes, and holographic mind, they just naturally snap together into these clear themes: psychology, neuroscience, and even some really out there theories of consciousness.
So what does this tell us? It tells us this project isn't random at all. It's building from the ground up, starting by creating this incredibly detailed map of the self. It's mixing old-school psychological models with cutting-edge neuroscience, and yeah, even some pretty speculative ideas about what reality even is. And it's not all just big, abstract ideas. Let's take a really concrete example from the files, the default mode network, or DMN. Now, this is a real thing. It's a mappable network inside our brains that lights up when we're daydreaming, or thinking about ourselves, or just letting our minds wander. By including specific stuff like this, the project really grounds its huge theories in actual, tangible science. Okay, but just when you think you've got it figured out, that it's all about the inner world, the project takes this dramatic pivot outwards. It shifts its focus to the structures of society. And this is where the folder's name, Sociology, finally starts to make perfect sense.
And what's so interesting here is the blend of ideas. We find files on these foundational thinkers, guys like Goffman and Foucault, sitting right alongside modern concepts like contemporary social architecture. It suggests that this project is taking society apart, from its deepest theoretical roots all the way to its most practical, real-world applications. And this, right here, brings us to the absolute core of our investigation. We've seen these two massive, distinct pillars: a super deep map of the human mind, and this thorough breakdown of social structures. So what's the bridge? How does this project plan to connect the neuron to the neighborhood? This is where we might just find our answer. This final cluster of files seems to be aiming for something huge, a grand synthesis, a unifying theory that tries to connect all the different clues we've been gathering into one single cohesive vision. As we were combing through the last of the files, one title in particular just jumped out at us. It's this complex, custom-made term that you can't find anywhere else. It really feels like a key, something deliberately placed there to unlock the whole thing. And here it is: neuromorphic sociologyonomy. I know, it is a mouthful, but this one file name might just be the Rosetta Stone for the entire project. It's so ambitious and so incredibly descriptive of what we've been uncovering. Okay, let's break that down, because it's not as scary as it sounds. Neuromorphic just means something is built or functions like a brain or a nervous system. Sociogamy, well, that would be the study of how society originates and develops. So you put them together and you get this absolutely stunning idea: the study of society as if it were a brain.
And just like that, our whole investigation suddenly makes sense. You see the logic now, right? Step 1, map the mind. Step 2, deconstruct society. And the final step, step 3, synthesize them into this radical new model. The chaos we saw at the beginning, it wasn't chaos at all. It was a carefully laid out argument.
And this isn't just a one-off idea either. There are other clues. Another file talks about the relationship between brain maps and the reflexive environmental gestalt. Now, gestalt is just a fancy word for a unified whole. So it's really another way of saying the exact same thing. Let's explore how the structure of our mind mirrors the structure of our world and how they both reflect each other.
With this key in hand, even the most bizarre files suddenly snap into focus. They're not just random thoughts anymore. They're speculative applications of this core theory. Think about it. Collaborative human-AI superteams could be seen as creating new neurons in the societal grain. Even something as wild as magical nanoswarms becomes a potential tool inside this massive world as a brain model. So we're left with this really fascinating question. What did we actually uncover here? Is this some kind of planned blueprint for understanding and maybe even re-engineering our future? Or is it simply the beautiful, intricate, chaotic web of a single curious mind just trying to connect everything to everything else? The files don't give us the final answer. I guess that part is for us to ponder.